application is a computer program designed as a tool to perform specific operations or functions. Generally, they're designed to facilitate certain complex tasks and makes people's computer experience that little bit easier. Applications are programs totally different from operating systems or programming languages, since they fulfill a specific function and are intended for common use. So, for example, we use Excel spreadsheets for managing finance or accountancy. So applications, as I mentioned, are there to perform specific tasks. They're called applications because the computer, I suppose, applies itself to a specific job and it facilitates its execution. So, for example, a word processor such as Word, a spreadsheet such as Excel, a database manager, graphics generator, an accounting program, games. These are all examples of applications. So there are several ways we can start these applications from the operating system. We can go to our Programs menu here at the side, and we can see in this version of Windows, our applications pop up here. So we can hover over, they highlight, and when we click on those, that application will open. Okay. We can also click on these applications directly from the desktop if we have shortcuts to them saved there. We can also come down here and we can search for apps here in the quick search bar. Again, this is on the Windows operating system. Okay, so we can search here for example, Word. I can bring up my Microsoft Word there. Okay. So the most widely used applications are, for example, word processors, and these are programs that facilitate the typing of text on the computer, from creating a letter to a book to an email. So they allow to operate with margins, tabulators, alignment, indentation, and typeface, for example. Okay, so they're probably the most widely used programs at a user level, and the best one or the most well-known one of these, of course, is Microsoft Word. Spreadsheets, I'm sure we're all familiar with those. It's another example of an application. These are programs that are used in the creation of tables with data related to each other. Okay, so when they were initially designed, they were designed for financial analysis. So they have a matrix format in which operations and functions can be defined on the various components of the matrix. So when any data is modified, all the operations that use it are automatically updated. So provided that the functions have been used and are well defined, spreadsheets are very useful programs. So again, our best well-known one of these is Microsoft Excel. Database managers then allow us to manage information related to people or items. They allow us to perform editing, sorting, searching, etc., those types of operations. And again, there's a lot of database applications on the market, but probably the best known ones are MySQL, maybe an Oracle, for example. Slide presenters then, of course, allow us to create content in slideshow format and allow us to present in different formats. So again, the best known application in terms of presenting is Microsoft PowerPoint. Outside of this, there are other applications, but they're probably of less general use, such as mathematical or statistical programs like SPSS, for example, CAD, computer-aided design. So they're very useful for design, used quite a bit in maybe architectural drawing, for example. You have other accounting and business management applications, communications, games apps, etc. Okay. So we'll now, after giving you kind of a bit of an overview of applications and their use, I'm going to just allow you maybe to practice a little bit on this. So I have 3 tasks here that I'm just going to bring up for you. And I'd like you to take maybe 5 minutes just to explore these tasks, just to get yourself familiarized with some of the common applications that are available to you. So the first one there, straightforward enough. Find the Paint application on your operating system. Open the application and make use of the tool. Second one, I'd like you to open the Notepad application. Try minimizing and maximizing the window and interacting with the different menu options. When you're finished exploring that, you can close the window. The last task there is just to identify 3 applications that are installed on the computer that you're using. Okay, so I'll give you 5 minutes maybe to just to go through those little exercises.